Your team sucks live. Here we go. Recapping week 7. Gorilla, what's up, my man? How are you, George?
Not too bad, my man. I'm sweating. I'm worried about my Dodgers tonight, but I don't know. At least I got 2. I'm worried about the Dodgers tonight. The management has been shit, so I'm kind of worried here. I don't want him to mismanage the game tonight, but they're talking about a bullpen game, so he's going to be doing his best to mismanage them out of the World Series.
Well, you predicted Dodgers in 6. So if the Dodgers win tonight, Gorilla George will be correct. We're starting the show. We're talking a little bit about the Dodgers because George and I are both Dodger fans, but this is a football show, and we are going to recap some of the events of week 7. Pretty crazy week. Oh, look at that. Dom Lamb jumps in right away. It just says it for you, Luke. He says it right there.
Dallas sucks. It didn't take too long.
Listen, the Cowboys took it to a whole new level of suckness this week. I was actually really surprised that they were this bad. And I mean, you still have some very delusional Cowboy fans out there that was George was telling me about. Now listen,
my boy Ernie, very delusional.
It's our boy Ernie that we grew up with in Los Angeles. And we love Ernie, but Ernie, what's up, dude? Ernie still thinks the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. Ernie,
they could in that division. Division's bad, but the Cowboys
will win the division. They just got rolled by the football team, formerly known freaking Redskins. Come on. I mean, really, this is a disaster. This is what happens when you overhype a team for as long as they have, and you're an 8-8 team, you're an average team in the NFL. A few things go wrong. You hire a coach. By the way, Jason Garrett's probably getting a whole lot more respect now. You hire a coach that you believe you can probably control, like Garrett was controlled to a certain extent. And this is what happens. You get a few injuries, you lose the locker room, and you really think the Cowboys have any shot to win this division? George thinks they're not even going to win another game. And I think that could happen.
I mean, they just don't have the heart any longer. I'm still a Dallas fan. I'll always be a Dallas fan, but I got to be realistic. They're just not coming with anything. Their quarterback got leveled. Nobody did a damn thing about it. Not even one player came to his defense to defend his quarterback. In my what I've been telling everybody, he's really not their quarterback. So, they're not defending him, this Red Rocket kid.
But it's the star. It's the star.
You got to defend the thing. Nobody's playing for anything. That's the problem.
They're not playing for anything. And I would say that, Dak Prescott was the leader, but where's Ezekiel Elliott? Where's the leaders on this team?
Zeke's in Cancun, man. Zeke's already in Cancun.
Pathetic effort. Pathetic. And so George has them ranked the second worst team in all of the NFL now. I mean, this is probably the biggest turnaround I've ever seen in the beginning of a year of a team that is predicted to go deep into the playoffs, possibly contend to win a Super Bowl, to being one of the worst teams at the level of the New York Jets. And they are at that level right now. In fact, I believe the Jets would beat the Cowboys right now. If you played them this Sunday, the Jets would beat the Cowboys. So let's talk about what's the answer here. Do you completely rebuild? Do you fire the coach right now? And do you just start over? You do what the Miami Dolphins did. Tank and get a bunch of draft picks, make some trades, get rid of some of these superstars, and get a bunch of draft picks. This season is over. George, you're the biggest Cowboy fan I know, next to Luke. So what do you do here? Do you get rid of the coach? What's the solution?
I mean, they got to fire the coach. It's really not going to matter this year, but he's got to go. Really, they got to get rid of the general manager. He's got to stop being the general manager. The owner can't be the general manager of the team. It's not working out. They're hiring the wrong people. They're paying the wrong people. The defensive coordinator that came over, he's trash. They can't stop a nosebleed. This team has no heart. Once Dak left, there was nothing left. There really wasn't. Elliott has never showed any kind of heart. He just sits out there and gets his little spoon, and but when has he ever showed any heart for the team, like for a Dallas team? And then you got Cooper, who you paid a ton, who who really can give a shit. They just don't have anything to play for. They're not playing for Dak. They're not playing for each other. They're not playing for the coach. Not playing for Dallas. I mean, what are they playing for? They're just out there getting a paycheck.
Luke, Dom Lamb says, I think the players lost a lot of respect to the organization for not paying Dak, and they're giving up. So Dom's saying that because they didn't pay Dak what he wanted, that the players, that they lost the locker room. I don't agree with that per se necessarily. I think that they were playing pretty hard before all this happened. Their defense was terrible. The defensive coordinator is trash, completely terrible. But Luke, my delusional Cowboy brother, Luke, my delusional Cowboy friend with your star on the iPad right there. What's the answer, Luke? What is the answer here, Luke? Come on, let's hear it.
The answer, to be honest, I honestly do not even know. It's, at the beginning of the season, I had a lot of hope, a lot of hype. Delusion was there all the way, and now all that hope is gone. And it's like you look to try to fix the defense, the offense is not working. Try to fix the offense, the coaches are not there. And I really don't know where to start. A lot of people keep saying Jerry Jones. A lot of people keep saying
Jerry owns the team. You can't fire Jerry.
But he is the general manager, and you can boot him out of being the general manager.
You can't own the team. I mean,
he needs to boot himself, obviously. But if he's thinking about it in football terms, he has to see it. He's not blind. He's a smart man. He's a billionaire for a reason. So he'll see the writing on the wall, and he's going to eventually have to fire himself. And what is Dom saying about Dak? I think this goes back even further to when they had Elliott out there, and Elliott was in Cancun, and they weren't paying him. And what did he do? He started shitting all over his running back, talking shit about him, and then he paid him. So if you're employed by this guy that just shit all over you, how much harder are you going to give him now? He just gave you all his money. You're kind of like laughing. Thanks for the money. I'm going to come phone it in every Sunday. Thanks. And that's Jordan, what they got.
What do you do here? If you were running the Cowboys, Jordan, and you're in charge, you make all the decisions, you're the boss, what do you do here?
The thing is, in that weak division, there's a chance to turn it around this season. Now, I don't think that that's necessarily the right move for them. For a team going into a rebuild, they have a lot of pieces. If they get a really good draft pick, there's a lot of pieces there. They get healthy for next year. The coach has to go. Jerry got a coach that he could control who wasn't great, just like Garrett, and that coach went out and got coordinators that he could control who were less good than he was. So nobody will be challenging anybody, and if you're not challenging, you're not winning. And the players have come out. Regardless of whether this is a good coach, bad coach, he's a Super Bowl winning coach, took a year off, did analytics, whatever that did for him, the players are not responding to him. They've already said this coach is not getting us ready for these games. As soon as that came out, as soon as the whole story after losing 30-3 was the coach isn't getting us ready for these games instead of getting ready for your next game, and then you score 3 points the next game, the coach has to go immediately. You're
a professional getting millions and millions of dollars, but you need to be motivated by your coach. Like, if you have the balls to say that, the rest of the team should beat the shit out of you. Literally.
No, culture
because
matters.
Come on.
You got to be.
I agree with that, George. I agree with that.
You're a professional football player. You don't need to be motivated. This ain't little league football. This is.
I'm not talking about motivation. They said he wasn't prepared for the team. That's X's and O's. Let's understand what they're doing and come out with a game plan to stop them. And the players are saying the coach has no game plan for these teams, and we see it week after week. Where are the halftime adjustments? Have you seen any good halftime adjustments at all out of the Cowboys?
I mean, every time they're down 15, 30 points at halftime. Right now we got a quarterback, Dianuki. I'm not sure who's, Dookie, whatever you want to call him. He's not going to do anything, the third-string quarterback. They're going to have to find somebody. There's big trouble in Dallas. But it's just rebuild time. That's it. Ship out anybody you can, and let's rebuild.
There's a lot of people to ship out, too. They're in a way better spot than, like, the Jets.
Okay, listen. I have a great news for George and for Luke. According to Jordan Galvez, the Cowboys are going to win the East with a 6-10 record. and you win with your third string quarterback. And if you win the division at 6-10, you might as well just go win the whole damn thing. At that point, win the Super Bowl. So the Cowboys, the way this year has been, 2020, shit, anything can happen. So I mean,
they're not beating four more teams.
So crazy that the Cowboys could win the division at 6-10 and then just win the whole damn thing. That's not gonna happen.
If that happens, I don't know.
That's not gonna happen.
If they want to go that route, they have to go out and get a quarterback, and there are guys available. There's been talk about them. Why don't you go out and get a Fitzmagic? I mean, he brings a lot of heart to an organization as a backup.
Everyone keeps acting like he's for sale. Nobody's selling Fitzpatrick. I've been reading this all over the internet.
Yeah.
When is Miami said, yeah, we're putting Fitzpatrick up for sale? No, nobody's putting. Everyone has these dreams. This shit's not happening. Like,
right.
What about Tyrod Taylor?
Oh, please no.
there are quarterbacks. What about RG3? That would be interesting.
RG3. There you go. Wow. As long as you're not desperate.
How about Kaepernick? How about bringing Kaepernick back?
There you go.
I'll take Kaepernick.
How about Kaepernick? Put Kaepernick in there. He'll put some people in the fans. They'll keep talking about Dallas. You got nothing to lose.
That's for sure.
If I were Dallas, I'd sign Josh Rosen.
Everybody will be talking about him. There's no doubt about that. All right, listen. Tom Brady. Tom Brady is balling. George predicted at this point that Tom Brady's leg would be broken and he would retire. It's quite the opposite. Tom Brady.
It's not that far away. Come on.
He's balling.
No.
And the Patriots are not balling. So we need to talk about this one because there's a lot of talk about legacy and, did Brady need Belichick? Did Belichick need Brady? Well, right now, the New England Patriots really need Tom Brady. And I said it on this show. That BS that they did with Cam week 1 against Miami was not going to last. They won't be able to sustain it. People are going to figure it out. They're going to have to run their offense. And guess what? They're trying to run that same offense now that Tom Brady ran with Cam Newton. It's not working out so well. They look really, really bad. Jordan and I predicted that the Pats were done, that the dynasty was over, and right now it looks like we were right. George, Brady, come on now.
I don't think he's balling at all. I think he's got a great team, and they surrounded him with the best players they can find. And as soon as anybody that comes available, they sign that guy too. Like they've given us so many damn weapons. I can go out there and do good. He throws a pick six every game. Literally, watch the games. Every game he throws a pick six. It's just they're so good. The defense is so good. And last week they got a Raiders team that didn't get to practice. They were missing 9 guys. So he looked great.
I just figured out how to fix the Cowboys' problem. George, you go be the quarterback.
I could maybe do better right now. I don't know. Me and Dianucci, I don't know. We're pretty close.
Listen, you're as tall as Kyler Murray, but you weigh about 400 pounds more than him. So I'm not sure how that would work out. So Jordan,
Brady is still Brady though. At the end of the day,
what's that?
I said Brady is still Brady. At the end of the day, he can make those throws.
He's made some pretty miraculous throws, George. I mean, you could have probably caught that ball right there.
He made miraculous throws against a team that didn't put any pressure on him. I mean, it was the perfect scenario for him. I know all you Tampa Bay fans will love him like that right now. You guys want to crown him. But wait till he plays a real team that gets to practice all week, that's prepared for him, that didn't lose 5 defensive backs throughout that week because of COVID. I think, be careful of who you're crowning. They're not ready yet.
All right, but what about?
I don't think we're crowning him, and I don't think this is as much about Brady as it is about that entire team. That team is stacked.
You told me Tampa Bay was going to win everything. You told me Tampa Bay was going to win baseball, hockey, and now football. So you did tell me they were going to win. I do think
Tampa Bay right now should be the front runners to win the Super Bowl. That is a defense that can take you to the Super Bowl.
How are you talking about? What about the Steelers?
And you add Antonio Brown
Kansas City? What about Tennessee?
Tampa Bay did not look good against the Saints. Yes, that was the first game that Brady ever played in a new offense without having training camp or preseason. Yes, they didn't look good.
He's looking better.
Saints haven't looked good since. If they met each other, when they meet each other again, Tampa will win that. And to your point about the Patriots being done, I think they know that because reports this week is they're shopping Stephon Gilmore. who's their
Really?
defensive MVP last year,
There
and
you
they're
go.
stopping it.
There's the Cowboys savior right there.
No, we
Right?
definitely don't need
Play
that kid.
2 ways. He can
They
play
could use a
cornerback
couple
and
of them.
quarterback.
Man, we need anything we could get at this point, Jordan. 'Cause we have no defense.
One
like-
defender is not going to help the Dallas Cowboys right now. You have to clean house.
I feel like Alabama can come play the Cowboys and win.
But wait,
Now you're very
No
delusional.
college team could ever beat a pro team.
Never, ever.
Here for a
The way the
second.
Cowboys
George,
play,
are the Patriots done? Is the dynasty officially over? Is it
Oh, yeah.
finished?
It's been done for a couple of years now.
That
Last
dynasty
year
is
was gone too. Definitely. I just think they're going to fight and compete in that division, but they're not going to win anything over there. The division's kind of soft.
It's a question of how
Doesn't
fast
matter.
they can retool and rebuild. I don't think Cam is the
Well, you
long-term
think?
answer there, right? And if Belichick is as good of a coach as everybody thinks, he should be able to retool and rebuild quickly. I think he's a great coach, situational coach, player coach. He doesn't draft that well. He got lucky with Tom Brady. They whiff consistently on running backs and wide receivers, and I think a rebuild process might not necessarily be particularly easy for him.
He's
So
got
yes,
a whole
they're
bunch of
done.
very good defensive players that they drafted, and they draft for need, not they don't draft necessarily for the big huge stars. The guys that run the fastest, they draft for character, and it's done pretty well for him as well. So I can't say.
Here's a good question: Do you
bad.
think Belichick wins another title?
No.
He's going to die out, never winning another.
No, and he's not going to break Don Shula's record for winning games either. And so,
he needs to come to Dallas.
He's got some time left. He's
He
not.
needs a new team too.
there you go. He needs to come to Dallas. That's what it is. Every player we've talked about so far needs to go to Dallas. And that's the savior. That would be, you know what? That would be interesting if Bill Belichick came to Dallas to finish his career. I don't think you're going to see that happen. I don't think him and Jerry could coexist. I don't think that could happen. The egos are too big there. Let's see. Pats are done until they find a permanent quarterback. It's good. Yeah. Well, I mean, to replace Tom Brady, I mean, hopefully the Dolphins have finally replaced Dan Marino. We'll see, and we're going to find out at least the beginning of that story this Sunday. But to replace Tom Brady, I don't think people understand how hard that is to do. The guy won 6 Super Bowls, and you can say, oh, well, he wasn't that great. He's a game manager. That's a bunch of crap. That guy was clutch as they come in the fourth quarter, and the guy is a pinpoint passer. He rarely makes bad decisions. Made a few in the beginning of this season, but to Jordan's point, it was the beginning of the season, no preseason or anything. You have to replace Tom Brady, and everybody thinks that, the coach can do. The coach can't throw the damn ball. The coach is not out there reading defenses. You cannot replace Tom Brady that easily. That is a once in a generation or lifetime quarterback. I think the Pats are done.
I agree with the statement.
I think
Jimmy G was a good replacement for Tom Brady. My bad, Jordan. Go ahead.
Go. I think consistently coaches get credit for really good quarterbacks. I mean, if you think Aaron Rodgers won Dallas's coach a ring, and then Adam Gase was offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach for Peyton Manning, and has gotten 2 head coach jobs because of it. You know, and then Belichick looks like a genius because he had Tom Brady there. And I think the coach often gets way too much credit for these really legendary quarterbacks. And you mentioned Tua replacing Dan Marino. I'm still not sure he's ready to replace Fitzmagic, really.
Yeah, we'll see about that. And that's a perfect segue into this Sunday. Tua makes his Dolphin debut against Aaron Donald and the Los Angeles Rams. I don't think it's the best team to make your NFL, your first NFL start against, but they're going to do it. So my take on this is, Fitzmagic was playing pretty good. I'm not going to call him Fitzmagic. He's Fitzpatrick. He's not Magic. He is a decent quarterback. He's an excellent backup quarterback, but the guy's never won anything in the NFL. And, people are saying, oh, he's playing great. Yeah, he's played pretty good against the Jets, and he typically beats really bad teams. He played really good against the Niners. The Niners got punched in the mouth in that game by the Dolphin defense as well. So it's hard to say exactly, how good Fitz is. Tua, I think, has gotten the job because he's just outplayed him in practice. And I think Tua is just balling like crazy in practice. That's the only thing the reason I would think of that he would be replacing him. George?
Tua's very good. He's been awesome since he was in college. He's been a performer since he's been in college. I think they're just watching him every week like, damn, when are we going to put this kid in? When are we going to get this kid in? And they're also seeing all these other young quarterbacks doing something around the league. I think they're kind of getting pressured into putting him in. I'm not sure everyone thinks that they're going to go ahead and win the division and do all that stuff. But either way, I think it's time. It's Tua time. I think that's right now.
I think a plan was always to start Tua after the bye week, and I think it was supposed to be Jets by Jets, which would have been perfect. They subbed the Rams in there. The Rams are on a short week, though, so it might not be too bad. Tua has that really quick release and an option quarterback. They may be able to game plan around Aaron Donald. That is a huge if. This doesn't really feel like a football move in the sense that I don't think this is a comment on how Fitzpatrick has been playing, because he's been playing well, and he has that team motivated, and he has that team in all of these games. I think this was the GM and everybody else is seeing Burrow out there, seeing Herbert out there balling out, and they decided that it was time to put this kid in. And it might not be a bad move. He may be balling out in practice, but I don't know.
Flores they're only going to make football decisions there. If you know him and you see how the guy operates, he wasn't hired to be a yes man. He's not working for Jerry Jones. He was hired to be his own coach. I guarantee you the only reason Tua's getting in there is because he is just balling in practice. That he has to be. They are not going to go, oh, we're 3-3. We're in second place in the division, and we're going to throw it all away because Joe Burrow is playing well. That's BS. No, they honestly think this is best for the team. They think this is best for this season for them to actually win. Now, they might be wrong, but that's what they believe. They are not going to make a decision that is not a football decision. I mean, they're not going to make something to say, oh, well, we just got to throw them in there because these other rookies are playing well. I don't believe that at all. If you know the coach, he doesn't make those kind of decisions.
It sounds like it's a good planned place for the bye. They come back. He gets to set up for 2 weeks for the Rams. He gets to watch him Monday night. It's a good spot for to bring in the rookie. Like after the bye week, they're going to be really set for him. It's a good spot. I think I might even play Miami this week.
It is a perfect spot.
What's the number on it, George? Do you know?
I'd have to look it up right now. I don't know.
Look at this. Corrales, Wilson, Rob, it really Tua time guarantees Dolphins gonna make the playoffs with Tua. I'm not quite that optimistic, just because Dolphins are still a very young team. They play really hard, but to go up against some of these elite teams, they're going to have to play like the Rams. It's a tough task. I mean, the Niners were down when the Dolphins played them. Jimmy G was hurt, and I'm a huge Dolphin fan, but I'm not delusional. I'm not a Cowboy fan, and so I think the Dolphins will finish even with Tua 7-9, 8-8, but they're going to be they're slowly coming back. It's okay. Rams -4.5. I think that's the right number. I think that's right.
I think so. Yeah, I would play Miami there. I actually really like. I really like that play.
How can you play when you've never seen the kid throw the ball yet in an NFL game, except for 2 throws against the Jets in garbage time? I wouldn't touch that game.
It's called gambling,
Yeah, it's called a calculated risk. Yeah.
No, there's a lot of people that bet with their heart, and there'll be a lot of people that bet Miami. My boy Corrales will be betting Miami. All these people that are Miami diehards are thinking right now it's time, Tua time. They're getting ready to make their Super Bowl march.
The Rams were scary against the Bears.
Yeah,
the
well, the
formerly
Bears,
5-1 Bears.
The
Nick
Rams at home are a completely different team than the Rams away. You'll see it. They're a completely
well,
different team.
and Nick Foles, is just either red hot or terrible. I mean, there's no in between for Nick Foles. He was pretty bad last night, and I don't get that team at all.
It has to do with pressure. Like when you get pressure in his face, like Aaron Donald did right up the middle, Foles isn't particularly mobile.
Man, I saw that guy get pressure in his face and win a Super Bowl with the Eagles. I mean, they all kind of crazy pressure he had in his face, and he made incredible throws. I just think the guy plays really well as a backup and not when there's no pressure on him. It's totally psychological, and I don't think the guy's a great starting quarterback. And I think that you may see the other guy back, Trubisky, before the year's over. That was really Foles is the new Fitz magic. No, I think Foles is actually more magical than Fitz. He's got a magical freaking Super Bowl ring. I mean, Fitz magic. Fitzpatrick has had some good games here or there. I think the sad part about Fitz is he's actually gotten better at 37 years old. It's probably the best he's ever played. And, it's disappointing, but he's 37 and he's done his job. He was brought in there to mentor this kid and to mentor a very young team. Fitzmagic, a lot of people don't know this. Fitzmagic is the only player on the Miami Dolphins that is over 30 years old. They're young. They're very young, and they're even more young now this week coming up. So, I mean, we'll see what the Dolphins do. It's going to be really interesting to see, how Tua does. We also have a big showdown coming up in the AFC North, which we're going to talk more about on Thursday and actually pick it on Thursday. But any early thoughts on you got the Steelers at the Ravens? I like the Steelers here right now. I might change my mind by Thursday. George, you got any thoughts on this game?
Man, the Steelers had a tough game last week. They snuck it out. They should have really won the game easily. That interception that he's showing right now, what the fuck was he doing right there? Why are you throwing that ball? You're winning the game. What are you doing throwing the damn ball there? Like I was like, is that Roethlisberger? I couldn't believe he did that. But that was one of the worst plays I've ever seen. Almost cost him the game, but the Steelers defense came back and held him out. That Steelers team is tough. The Steelers team is very tough, but I'm afraid of the Ravens this week. It's just a good spot for them. After that tough game for Tennessee, it looks like a good spot for the Ravens.
Yeah, it is incredibly hard to, even go undefeated this long in the NFL, especially now you're going up against a division rival who is a Super Bowl contender. They'll be up for this game. They're going to want to prove that they are the best team in the division. And I think the former Dolphin players will probably be cracking their champagne after the end of this game. I like the Ravens here in my early pick. We'll see what happens in the next 2 days. Jordan?
It's gonna be a slobber knocker for sure. It's gonna be fun to watch. But yeah, I don't even know if we bet this one. You would say got to stay away.
Oh yeah.
No, you definitely stay away. This is a division rivalry game. Right. I would have to see what the line is. If anybody gets more than 3 points, I'm going for whoever gets the points, but I'm sure they won't. It'll be a very, very close thing.
Ravens are 3.5, so you could get the 3.5 if you want.
There you go. I would take that.
Did somebody sign Des Bryant? We have a comment here. Who?
I believe he's on the Ravens practice squad.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Why is Dez on anybody's practice squad? That's pretty wow.
Well, they need receivers, man. They need some receivers. They don't have any receivers on the team.
Can Dez play tight ends? Dez play safety? Maybe he's Dallas's answer. Maybe he could play quarterback, safety, and he could coach the damn team. What do you think, Luke?
It's better than what we got now, so I'll take whatever at this point. I'll take some prayers too.
Luke, who do you like? Steelers versus the Ravens.
I like the Steelers in that matchup. As far as winning, I like the Ravens better as a team organization, but as far as winning that game, I think the Steelers stay undefeated.
Yeah, I think the Ravens are going to bring that one home. I think the Ravens got that. So, all right, that's going to do it. We're back Thursday making our actual picks against the number. We will see you then. George, I know what you're gonna say. Dodgers game 6. What's up? What's up?
Go Dodgers, baby. It's time to see if this manager's going to mismanage him again. Let's go Dodgers. Please don't bring in Jansen tonight.
Yes. Lucaci, what's up? Anything? Famous last words?
I usually talk about the Cowboys, but I don't know. I'm disappointed, so I ain't got nothing to say.
DiNucci. Isn't that his name? DiNucci?
This is like a news flash, a speechless Cowboy fan. I mean, really.
You should just walk around and see how many Cowboy fans can say their quarterback's name. I don't even know. I think it's DiNucci. What's his name? How did I say?
I don't even know. I turned off that game. I turned off that game at like halftime.
I prefer DiNucci.
It sounds like Dookie, yeah.
Jordan, by the way, I like the new hairstyle there, Jordan, with the slick back thing. You look like a Viking drug dealer. So yeah, I like that new one.
All right, just a little food for thought. If Tampa Bay does make the Super Bowl, my pick, they're at home, but they will make them use the visitors' locker room. So think about it.
Yeah,
we won't have to. Don't worry.
They'll be at home with like 5,000 people in the stands. So, I mean, unless the COVID thing's over by then, which Lord willing, it's going to be much better by then. We'll see. So
I just had to show this play.
Yeah, I love that. DK Metcalf running him down.
Wow.
Hey, thoughts and prayers to OBJ, but Baker balled out without him, huh?
Yeah, he did.
He looked better without him. It was kind of impressive, yeah. But this is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen, this guy running them down.
Yeah, because the guy who picked it off is not slow.
No,
not at all. Baker's not slow.
Buda Baker actually looked back and was like, what the fuck? Like he couldn't believe it. Watch him. Watch the play. Watch him look back. He's like, what the fuck? Watch him.
Wow.
Watch him look back right here.
You love that hustle.
Oh, shit. Like, he couldn't believe it.
He double taked.
Yeah.
That was a double take. He was like, what the hell?
We definitely should have talked about that game. That was the game of the
week.
That was a great game.
It was fantastic.
I've kind of changed my mind on Kyler Murray, maybe, because I watched him play a couple times and I was impressed. It's pretty incredible for his size to be doing what he's doing. He may be, Jordan, your guy, Lamar Jackson, but he can actually throw the ball from the pocket, which makes him more dangerous than Lamar Jackson.
2 weeks ago, when Arizona just squashed the Cowboys, we thought that was more about the Cowboys. But then Arizona came out and beat Seattle, an undefeated Seattle team. I think it might have been more about Arizona, but it's probably both since Dallas came out and lost against Washington. So, definitely. I'm a believer in Arizona and that whole division. They're all good.
They've had some bad games. I wouldn't crown them yet either.
Yeah, I wouldn't crown them either yet. But Seattle did what Seattle normally does. They play these close, high-scoring games, and they give up a lot of points. I mean, they do that every week. We've been talking about it for like last 3 weeks. The Dolphins were in the game with Seattle. And so
everybody's in the game with Seattle.
It's what we said is that you can't. This is why I didn't rank Seattle as the best team in the NFL, is because they give up too many points. You have to be almost perfect to win like that every week. And there we go. You saw Kyler Murray take advantage. All right, we're over time. We're out. See ya. Go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers.